All right, Shalom. Kahalaim La, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Bashim, Wakakwadash. Double honors, much peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers doing this work and truth and sincerity. Shalom, this is the brother Batak back again through the Spirit with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. So, real quick, I wanted to get into, the future, which is prophecy that is, going to be fulfilled real soon, according to the will of Yahweh Bashim, Shah. The heathen nations are going to come to our land to pray and worship before Yahweh Shem Shah, and they're going to be under subjection. And I'm going to get some precepts and Lord willing, this is edifying. This is Zechariah chapter 8, starting at verse 20. It says, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, Let us go speedily to pray before Yahweh, and to seek Yahweh of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek Yahweh of hosts in Jerusalem. So that's talking about all of the heathen nations. They're going to have respect. They're going to have respect for the law, statutes, commandments. They're going to have respect for Yahweh Shem Shah, and they're going to come and worship before Yahweh Shem Shah. And if you don't, I'm going to get a precept that's going to tell you what's going to happen if you don't. Luke 19:27. You know what? I'm going to get it right now real quick. This is Luke 19:27. But those mine enemies which were not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Right? So the Lord was very, Yahweh Shah spoke that. He said that. Yahweh Shah said that. So if you don't want Yahweh Shah to reign over you, then the Lord Yahweh Shah has a problem with you. This is Zechariah chapter 8, verse 22 again. It says, Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek Yahweh of hosts in Jerusalem, and to pray before Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold. Salakia. 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take a hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, We will go with you, for we have heard that the Lord Yahweh is with you. And this is a part of prophecy. This is a prophecy that has yet to be fulfilled. Because right now we're the offscoring, we're proverbs and bywords among the nations. All of the nations. They have no respect for the nation of Israel. But it's going to come a time in the near future where these other nations are going to have respect for the nation of Israel again. And the Lord also said in the book of Joel that if a nation didn't want to come worship, that they wasn't going to have no rain in the latter season. This is Zechariah chapter 14. I'm gonna start at verse I don't know where to start at. I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso would not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, then that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherein Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. This is prophecy. This has not happened yet. This is after America is destroyed. As you can see, verse 12. That's how America is going to be destroyed. And after that, it's going to be a transitioning period. Jacob is coming into power. You know what? I'm going to start at Zechariah chapter 14, verse 13. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult for Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one of on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against his hand of his neighbor. And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in the tents as this plague. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King and Yahweh of hosts and keep the Feast of Tabernacles. So after the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Shah hits America with this plague, what is written in verse 12, like the scripture says in verse 14, we're going to gather up all of the things in great abundance, like the gold, silver, and apparel and things of that nature, because once America goes down, and everything is destroyed, the Lord is going to restore everything, and we're going to possess the riches that was taken from us. And and after that, the heathen are going to come build up our kingdom, They're going to build up our kingdom, and they're going to serve the Yahweh B'Shem Shah through us, man, This is verse 17, and it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. Right. So this is the proof of that this is not talking about right now, because it's all of the nations don't respect the nation of Israel, Even back in the history, all of the heathens, they did their own things. They worshiped their own gods. But once Yahweh B'Shem Shah did get rid of all these idols and all these other false gods, these heathens are going to be forced to, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. This is verse 19. This shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses holiness unto Yahweh, and the pots in Yahweh's house shall be like the bowls before the altar, because everything is going back to how it's supposed to be. Everything is going to be set back in order. The temple is going to be perfect. Everything is going to be perfect. Everything is going to be set up perfectly, man. And this is prophecy. Everything is going to be restored to the way it's supposed to be. And the Lord likes perfection, man. So I said, right, everything is going to be beautified. And the scripture says, no, the Lord shall make the place of his feet glorious. This is Isaiah 60 and 13. It says, the glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. Right? So, coming to the land of Israel is going to be like, it's going to be an out of this world experience. Eyes have not seen. It's in Isaiah. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what the Lord has prepared for. This is Isaiah 64:4. It says, for since the beginning of the world, men have not heard, nor perceived by the ear, neither had the eye seen, O power, beside thee, what he hath prepared for him that waiteth for him. So that's what we're doing. We're preparing. We're waiting for Yahweh B'Shem Shah. And the Lord is going to make the place of his feet glorious, We're gonna be in style, so to speak, man. Everything is gonna be perfect. Everything is gonna be beautiful. The Lord is gonna have us, we're gonna have that real drip in the kingdom, man. Jake be worrying about this fake ass drip. That's what, they call it in the South. They call it drip. Jake be having this, this Edomite ass drip, man. That shit ain't right, man. We gonna have real drip in the kingdom, man. Real clothing, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be looking like fly, so to speak, decked out, so to speak. Got, all kinds of stones, gold, all kinds of that, man. Jake love all of that shit, man. We love that, man. Verse 21, it says, yea, every pot in Jerusalem and in Judah shall be holiness unto Yahweh of hosts, and all they that sacrifice shall come and take of them and see it therein. And in that day there shall be no more the Canaanite in the house of Yahweh of hosts. So everything is gonna, like the scripture says, man, everything is gonna be restored. Everything is gonna be beautiful. The heathen are gonna follow the law, statutes, and commandments, and they're gonna obey, the law, statutes, and commandments, of course, So everything is gonna be beautiful, and it's coming real soon. I thought it was in Joel that said it wasn't gonna be no rain, but it was actually Zechariah. Bear with me, I was looking for something. Yeah, so yeah, it was Zechariah. It wasn't I know I said Joel, but it's not Joel. It was Zechariah. Because the nation of Israel is gonna have the world in complete subjection. This is the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 25. No, Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Because it's gonna be dominion. Dominion is gonna be given to men. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven. That's talking about Yahweh Shah, by the way. And came to the Ancient of Days, which the Ancient of Days is the Most High Yahweh. And this is a vision, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, we just went into that. All people. That means every nation and languages, right? So everybody. Nobody's going to be exempt from this. Everybody's going to be in subjection unto Yahweh Shah. And like Luke 19 and 27 says, if you don't, then that's your life. Should serve him. Right? They're going to serve us. His dominion is an everlasting dominion. That's a dominion that does not end, which shall not pass away, which is not going to be destroyed. You ain't got to worry about, the 70 AD happening again, so to speak, Got to worry about that happening again. It says, and his kingdom that shall not be destroyed. Right, like I just said, you ain't got to worry about 70 AD happening again. Jerusalem being compassed about with troops, fleeing Roman persecution. So, verse 15 proves that, that was a vision that he was seeing. I'm going to get one more precept. I'm going to close it off on this because this is going to put the nail in the coffin right here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30. Start at verse 1. It says, and it shall come to pass that when all these things are come unto thee, the blessing and the curse. Right, so we went through the curses, man. We wait on the blessings, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, which is right now. Jake's waking up. This is a prophecy that is going to be fulfilled, that's being fulfilled. Jake is waking up and calling what their sins to mind. calling the things that have done to mind, the reasons why we're in this society, whither Yahweh thy God have driven thee, and shall return unto Yahweh thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy God would turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee. Right. And the Lord is going to turn our captivity real soon. And will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither Yahweh thy God has scattered thee. If any of thine be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. So the Lord is the one that's gonna come get us. He gonna come get us. Me speaking as a man. That's why I said us. But the Lord gonna come get us by way of a so-called UFO. Verse 5, it says, and Yahweh thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. Because like the scripture says, hey, we are our forefathers, just coming back in the reincarnation. So the Lord is gonna bless us more. He's gonna bless us even more than we ever been blessed before. And Yahweh thy God will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love Yahweh thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies, right? And on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, right? So the curses are going to be on them, but if they do good, they're going to be blessed. The heathen, like the scripture says, in thee shall all the nations be blessed. One of the reasons why, the heathens are going to be blessed if they if they obey the laws, statutes, commandments, is because the Lord is a fair power. But if they go off, they're gonna suffer the curses of the scriptures, because all the heathen gonna have to respect the laws and statutes and commandments. And if they reject them, and if they break them, they're gonna suffer the curses and the consequences, man. The curses that are written in Deuteronomy 28, man. Y'all heathens gonna have to experience that. So with that, man, I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Rao Shah Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors, much peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom, Lord willing, man. This lets us edifying through the spirit. Prophecy is gonna be fulfilled real soon, and everybody's gonna respect the laws, that's commandments. Even Esau. And if he don't, he gonna get a foot up his ass, which we already know. Esau is not in him to do right. So this devil, he's just gonna be fun in the kingdom, man. They gonna have to obey the laws and commandments, which we already know they not gonna keep them. So it's just gonna be perfect, man. Put a foot in your ass. So with that, Lord willing, edifying. Shalom.